Hello, welcome back. Today I'm going to be doing a little bit of a declutter, but it's going to be different than how I've done them in the past, where I kind of walk through all of my makeup and show you what I'm taking out. So how I try to use my collection. Now, I don't have a huge collection, but I do think that I have a larger collection than the average, makeup consumer. And not just because of YouTube, but just because I just love makeup in general. And I love not just trying things, but I do buy things with the thought that I'm actually going to use it up and enjoy it the entire time. With that said, not everything keeps me interested. The year to maybe 2 years that it actually realistically takes to use up a makeup product when you're using it consistently. So it really does depend on formulation and what type of ingredients are in this product to make it last a long time, whether it's cream, whether it's powder, whether it's liquid. You get what I'm saying. So given that I have a larger collection, some things start to get forgotten about. So what I like to do is I like to make myself bi-weekly everyday makeup bags. So I will be using the same products most of the time throughout the week, so I can really make dents in them and get a fully rounded opinion on how I feel about said makeup products. A lot of this stuff I've, kind of combed over in other declutters because I really wanted to give it a chance and I thought it was a good product. And whether it's the formula or it's too old now or I just don't really like the color, there's a number of different things that, I have in this bag, but all of them have ended up in my weekly/bi-weekly everyday makeup bag, and that I found myself looking for other products in my makeup drawers because I'm either not inspired and I'm realizing through using it all the time that I just don't like it. So anyways, these are the products that have been in my everyday makeup bag for the past 1 to 2 years that I just I don't want them anymore. And so we're going to talk about those today. Before I get into the products that I'm going to be getting rid of, I just want to touch base on just an example of what an everyday makeup bag for me is. And so I curated this one for this upcoming week, and it's everything that I'm wearing on my face today. So I'm just going to go through them really fast. But this is the Le Fien Rouge Le Pout Visage. Chic colors down here and some highlights. It has a really beautiful mirror. Really nice cream product. Is it my favorite? Not really, but it's not to the point where I'm not reaching for it, not using it. And I think that this is going to be a really nice product come the warmer months because there is a little bit more of a stickiness to it that really adheres and lasts really long on the face. Creates a really nice natural look. I have the Victoria Beckham lip pencil. I have this in the shade, what? It's a lip definer. It's the number 2. It's number 2. I have the kind of red and mauve colored blush on my lips today, along with this. I have the Tower 28 Make Waves mascara, which is pretty much my everyday mascara. My complexion product is the Rose Inc. What is it? The Skin Enhance Luminous Tinted Serum. I wear this in the shade 03. It's not my favorite, but I'm so close to being done, so I just really want to use it up, so that's why I have it in here. I have the Giorgio Armani Fluid Sheer Glow Enhancer. I have this in the shade 2. Love this stuff. It's such a lightweight illuminator. This creates just such a beautiful effect for my complexion. I think it's such a wonderful product. Another Armani product is the Neo Nude Melting Color Balm in the shade 21. Love it. It's hands down one of my favorite products, and I feel like I've been using other things just for the sake of using them, but I just went ahead and I threw this in my bag as well. What else do I have in here? I have a discontinued product by Tom Ford. It's their very beloved eye duo. Yeah, and it's still rocking and rolling. I'm probably gonna use this until it smells bad. But it's in the shade 3 Golden Peach. I have it on my eyes today. It's one of the best makeup products ever, literally ever. But yeah, I just want to show that some love because I've kind of pushed them aside and I've been using other things, and so I just really like to revisit this sometimes and just give it some love. And This is from Lisa Eldridge. How pretty. So this is a good example of what my weekly / bi-weekly makeup bag looks like. And, you know, I'll make that. And then if I feel like I want to do something a little bit different, I'll mix and match like lip stuff. Maybe I'll grab a different blush or a highlighter or something like that. But that's just kind of how I go about sussing out all of the products in my makeup collection. And it also allows me to mix and match different formulas to see what really looks good together. So anyways, let's just get into the declutter. So this is everything. This is like everything that I have been kind of hoarding and just made up some excuse to keep a hold of it. But I can't make excuses for these products anymore. Well, let's just do a really quick check-in with these 3 eyeshadow palettes. And the main thing is that I've been telling myself that I'm gonna use these for something, but I'm not. I'm really not. I'm not this girl anymore. I'm not this girl anymore. And I think this doesn't even exist. Like, this isn't like a thing. And this is a good palette. Like, don't get me wrong, the formula of this, I'm remembering that it was really nice and really smooth, buttery. This is the Tarte Play face shaping palette. So you get 3 sets of like neutrals going through, and then you get like these different bronzing colors. This is just a prime example of something that I would never buy now. I bought this when it first launched, which I think was like 6 years ago, for like bridal stuff. I did use it on many bridal jobs, but other than that, like, I'm not using it. I haven't picked it up and I don't remember. I don't remember the last time I used that palette. So I'm gifting it. If somebody wants it, it smells fine. It feels fine. I've touched all of these products. Like, it feels fine. Another one is a palette that I just keep forgetting that I have. And I know that I would never pick it up. It's by Lime Crime. It's the Venus 2 palette, which I mean, I think it's a really beautiful color story. It's pretty creative, but I just don't, I'm not wearing this. Look at me. Look how I'm doing my makeup now. I'm not using this, but there's definitely someone somewhere that would. I'm sure somebody in my life would want this. Also, please don't comment asking me to send you my makeup. I don't know you. I'm sorry. I'm just not gonna do it. I'm just not. Don't ask. Okay, so the last palette. Ugh, God damn. I got this. This is by KVD. Well, I mean, as you can see, it's so old that it still says Kat Von D, which technically isn't even a thing anymore. This is the shade Light Eye palette. I loved this. I loved this for so many different like makeup artist jobs that I used to do. And they're really good eyeshadows, and I just don't feel like I want this anymore. I just don't want it anymore. Like, this is like a totally different person that reached for this palette back in the day. And I do have some really good dents in this palette too. Like, I really, really do. And I'm sure that if somebody wants this in my life, they will take it. But if not, you know, it is pretty old. It's not smelly. It doesn't feel off or anything. So that's why I'm comfortable giving it to somebody in my life. But yeah, those 3 palettes. I'm not that person. I'm not that person. And they're not me. And I don't use them. Okay. This other face palette, oh God, even just talking about it, I'm like, oh my God, I can't give it up. This was a very beloved product to me for a very long time. This is the Becca and like Khloe Kardashian thing, a long time ago. And Becca's not even a brand anymore. But given that it's like the Khloe and Malika BFF palette, and I think this one is the Khloe color story. Yeah, it has all of these things that I've talked about in previous videos that I said that I would never buy anymore, including like face palettes. So I made a video talking about how I feel about powder highlighters and like baked shimmery blushes. And as they can look very, very beautiful, like Becca's formulas were so beautiful. Like, I loved their powder products, and I'm just also not this person anymore. I'm never going to be reaching for this. And also it's old. It's old, and you know, I don't know if you can tell the dents that I've made in these. I've used this so much, so much, and the mirror is amazing. But, you know, this has been sitting in storage, my makeup storage, for actual years, and it's pretty schmutzy. I don't know. But yeah, powder highlights, baked blushes, not into it. And, you know, the bronzer was fine, but it did pull a little yellow on me. But yeah, there's just literally no reason to still have this. You gotta go. Segueing into some powder highlighters, I have two. I have two here that I am going to give to somebody, and not because I think they're bad, but they're just not for me. They're for a certain person, and I think if you like powder highlighters, you will love these. And so the person in my life that I am going to gift these to, they're gonna love them. So the first one is something that I tried when I did a full face of Hourglass. This is when I started to get this inkling that I don't think a lot of powder highlighters are just for me anymore. Like, I like an actual physical wet cheek. This is the Hourglass Ambient Strobe Lighting Powder, an incandescent strobe light. It's a beautiful powder. When you touch it, you're like, that's expensive, but look at that. It has like a really strong white undertone, which, you know, for me, not the best. And then when you look at it on here, it's like, where is it? Like, it's pretty cloudy out today, but even my ring light, it's just so subtle, which, I mean, for certain cases, this is a really beautiful product, but for me, when am I in those situations? Somebody else can love it. I'll give it to them. Another one is by NARS, and I feel like this is kind of like an aging highlighter formula where it has like this slight foiledness to it, but it still can give you like a wet looking, glassy looking, you know. This is the NARS highlighter in the shade Fort de France. It's great. It's a really beautiful product, but I do find that it is just a little like too light for me. And if you look at it's here, I think the Hourglass, you can kind of see it next to it. They're just like not what I'm looking for. And, you know, I do have a pretty like decent sized dent in this, but, you know, it's still good. It doesn't smell bad. The formula isn't hard panned or chalky or anything like that. Like, it's a perfectly good product that I think somebody will love and use, you know? Like, and so I was just using this on my eyes and I was like, why do I have this? I'll make these next ones really quick because there's nothing wrong with this product by Wonder Skin. It's the Wonder Blading Lip Mask. I have this in the shade Whimsical and the shade XOXO. My lips are just too dry for this type of product, and it's one of those really cool things where you like, looks like it's blue, and then you put it on your skin, you let it sit for like, you know, like 20 seconds or something, or until it feels a little dry, and then you like kind of smudge it off, and you have a stain that lasts for like all day, like hours. But for me, my lips are just too dry and it clings to the dry patches. The stain goes on uneven. So this is for somebody who has like like nicer, younger lips than me. So I'm just gonna get rid of them, and somebody else can love them since I only used each of them once. So it's fine. Next product, I'm just kind of pulling out stuff from this bag now. There's no rhyme or reason to it. I have the Denesomyrix Universal Blurring Balm Powder. This product, I do believe I like the idea of it. It's this like kind of priming balm that once it hits the skin, it kind of turns into a powder, and I think it's supposed to help like mattify and like prime areas of the face, like especially if you're pretty oily. I'm guessing that this would reduce the size of the appearance of your pores, but there was something in this that my skin just did not like, and I think it has a lot to do with whatever fragrance, or it almost smells mentholy to me. That's just me. But yeah, I can't even say that this is a good or a bad product, but my skin was just like, this next one, I feel like people are gonna be like, what? So this is the Charlotte Tilbury Beauty Light Wand. I have this in the shade Spotlight. I just never reached for it. like I would use it only on like special occasions, and it would be like an event or something that I was going to at night. And you know, I did find a way to make it work for me, which was applying it with a wet sponge to give it more of like a wet looking glassy natural effect. But I just found things in my collection that I liked more, and I would reach for more. Even when I would put this in my everyday makeup bag, I also took off the sponge because nasty. It's so gross. The packaging was like 50% of it. The other part of it was just how it's a little too like chrome for me still. And I feel like this is not me, but it's somebody. I think it's a good product. It's just not for me. So I've been trying to make a dent in this for a very long time, and I just can't. I cannot. It's just not for me. Another Charlotte Tilbury product that I'm getting rid of is this here lipstick. Here it is in the Kissing formula, which is like a matte whatever, and it's a good color. It's in the shade Penelope Pink. There's nothing wrong with it. Like it's a nice lipstick, but for me, it's just not really the color that I'm looking for anymore. And a full pigment matte-ish lipstick. It's not like matte. It's definitely has some like emollients to it and like spreadability, like some comfortableness to it. But it's so full pigment that I don't know. There's just something about it that I'm not reaching for, and I think somebody else might like this. God, I've been trying to use this product for so long. This is the Gen Nude Bronzer by Bare Minerals. This is in the shade Kiss of Rose. This is a prime example of a blush that I will never buy again, which is like a baked, glowy blush. I just feel like this is an eyeshadow. This is not for me. And it really doesn't have anything to do with the color. Like I use blushes like deeper than this on myself, but this is just, it literally feels like I'm putting an eyeshadow on my face because of how like kind of foiled it is. Like I feel like it always looks patchy. It always just doesn't look nice on my cheeks. And I don't know. It's just not for me. I think the color is beautiful. Like it's a beautiful color. Because if you're not new here, you know that I love a bronzer moment, but this particular blush is just not, it ain't me. It ain't me. And I've tried so many times, and I don't want it. I don't want it. Let's kind of stay on the blush train, because I do have a handful of blushes in here that I've just tried to love and use, and I just can't. I can't find myself feeling excited or just really pumped to use them. So, and I feel like I just forget about them. And the first one is actually very surprising to me. It's the Finding Ferdinand Summer Abroad and Khaki Reviews Beauty was it was Khaki that did the collab with this, and it just like took months for them to send them out. And when I got it, I was like, oh, this is a really nice product. And then as I started like using it more and more, I'm like, I'm really bored. And I just find that I have this color in other formulas, and I reach for those formulas a lot more. I have this in the shade Olay, which is supposed to be like this kind of, you know, nudie beige kind of color. But something I found with this formula is that like, as I do like the kind of emollient feelingness of it, and it does lay on the skin nicely, I just don't feel like it's like as spectacular looking as some of my other blushes that I have in this type of shade, whether they be, my neighbor is like doing something in their backyard, so if you hear it, I'm sorry. Whether I have something that's in this type of shade that's a little bit more emollient and or matte or blurring a little more, I don't know, there's something about this that I'm just like, I'm so bored of you, and I don't reach for you. Another blush that like, there's nothing really wrong with it, but I'm just not giving it enough love, and I have tried, and it doesn't happen, is the blushes by Rowan. I have this in the shade Natural Rose. It's another like kind of like dewy formula. Like this will make your cheeks look really like hydrated and emollient. And this is pretty sheer, so you can get a really nice natural effect with this. But given that, like, I find that I look over this because I do like more of a matte cream blush to sit on top of my really dewy base. And I think that that type of effect, one, lasts longer, and two, it just looks better. It's not like you're like putting goo on top of goo. You're putting something that has a little bit more grip on top of something that's dewy. You know, but in my head it makes sense. So that's why I don't really reach for this product. And there's nothing really wrong with it. Just like the Finding Ferdinand one. Like there's nothing and it's essentially bad about it. It's just the formulas just aren't really my preference. And so I reach for other things so much more. And I think there are people in my life that would really, really enjoy these. Another blush that I just, God, I've tried so hard. The KVD ModCon Gel Blush. I have this in the shade Luminary 50. One, this was supposed to be like a peach, not a peach. This is like, that is very bright. Two, there is no longevity to this. And it's just, this, how do I put this? It solidified my opinions on gel formulas. Not really into gel formulas. It's not that I don't like liquid blushes, because I do love the Say Dewy Blush and I do love the CL liquid blush. This is a liquid blush, but it's just, there's something about a gel formula that, as this looks, it looks very nice on my hand, but I feel like it just, there's no integrity to it. Like it doesn't last. Like I feel like if I put it on at like 8 o'clock in the morning, by lunchtime, this would be very faded and it would just look kind of like dewy on my cheek, but there would be no color. I've tried. I've really tried. I'm really sorry. I don't like this product at all. And I don't really like the color on me either. Like I was like, this was supposed to be like a nudie peach, and this is very much like a peony almost. Peony, rosy, some type of flower. It's pink. I'm gonna be doing just like 2 of these because they're essentially the same thing. This is by Nudesticks. One is the Nudies Matte Blush and one is the Nudies Bronzer. I have the shades in the nude. And I've used a lot of this product. The shades in the nude and the shade Bondi Bay, which is the bronzer color. And so there are 2 reasons why I'm getting rid of these. One, they're getting pretty old, and I do find that I just don't reach for them. It has nothing to do with the formula. The formula, Nudesticks formula, is like one of my favorite matte cream products, whether it be the blushes or the bronzers. I just don't like this color that much. I have so many other cream or powder bronzers in my collection that I reach for like 100% of the time over this. So that's gonna go. And the shade in the nude, I do have several other colors that are basically color dupes to this in my collection. And for some reason, I just reach for them so much more. And when I discovered Sunkissed, this one kind of went on the back burner. And when I received the Violette FR Bisou blush in the shade Louise, which is more or less the same color as in the nude, I just like that formula so much more. It has more of like a blurring quality to it. It smells nice. It just, the whole overall experience of it is, I just prefer it more. But yeah, it's old, it's loved. I gave it a good shot and I just don't really reach for it anymore. It has nothing to do with me thinking that the formula or the color is bad. It's just, I'm not reaching for it anymore. I have 3 eyeshadows in here. The first one is the cream stick, like what? The Longwear Cream Eyeshadow Stick by Bobbi Brown. This is in the shade Smoky Topaz, which is this. You know, it's fine. It's like a nice kind of, I don't know. I'm disillusioned with the Bobbi Brown eyeshadow sticks. And maybe if I had like a matte one or something, I would like it more. I don't know. But this, I find it does last a long time, but it's just not for me. I just don't ever use it, and I think somebody else would really, really like it. The next one is by Phytosurgents. This is their Flash Fluorescence eyeshadow, and this is in the shade Lunar Light Wave. Nothing wrong with this. There's absolutely nothing wrong with this. It's actually a very beautiful like shade. Like it's really, really nice. But here's the thing. It's literally the same exact thing as Space Cowboy, but chunkier, which if I'm gonna reach for something that looks exactly like Space Cowboy, I'm gonna pick up Space Cowboy and not this, because I do prefer the more finely milled glitter particles that are in Space Cowboy, and this is significantly more chunky. And so, I mean, I don't reach for it. So somebody else can have beautiful eyelids. I am so happy to give this away. Last thing is just old, and it wasn't really my favorite due to the packaging and just how it spread on the eye. It's just not one of my favorite formulas in general. This is by Ritual de Fille. This is their Ashen Ember Eye Soot. I have this in the shade Uve. I think that's how you say it. It's EXUVIAE, Uve. Yeah, it's kind of, I'm not even gonna reach my finger in there because I just don't feel like possibly getting something under my fingernails. It's just old. I'm gonna throw it away. You know, like it's expired, and I definitely did not get any good use out of this because I was just so like, ugh. Okay, we're reaching the end here. Let's just go in real quick. This is the KVD liquid lipstick. They sent it to me for free. It's the shade Witches. When am I ever gonna have a black liquid lipstick? Never, literally never. This one is by Sephora brand. It's their Rouge Lacquer Creamy. What shade are you in? I literally cannot read it. L25. This kind of gives me butthole lip, so we're gonna actually toss this because it looks pretty gross. That's going away. This one is old. It has nothing to do with me thinking it's bad. It's just old and I'm not reaching for it anymore. This is by NARS. This is in the shade Bang Bang, which I do believe was a limited edition shade. It's in their Afterglow Lip Balm. Is that the actual Afterglow Lip Balm? Yeah. In the shade Bang Bang. You can see if you're looking for a tinted lip balm that's like in a solid form and not in the squeezy like lip mask type of thing that's been so trendy lately, these are excellent. These are excellent. My favorite shade is in Laguna, and I do have several that I'm keeping. It's just old and I reach for this shade the least, so I'm just gonna get rid of it. I don't need it in my life anymore. Okay, so some lip oils. I have the Kosas, what are you called? It's in the shade Jellyfish. It's the wet lip oil? The wet lip oil in the shade Jellyfish. The scent is something incredible. It smells like a lemon poppy seed muffin. And I don't think this product's bad. It's just nothing to like write home about. And I think that it's one of those things that, you know, it feels nice on my lips, but it's not doing anything. It's not nourishing my lips. My lips feel just as dry, if not drier, than when I put it on the first time. It does nothing. And that's how I feel about lip oils, and it's the same thing about the Wonder Skin. I think this is a much better product than the Kosas, to be completely honest. This is the Lip Rehab Therapy Oil. I'm going to give this to somebody as well. But this is in the clear shade. I think this is like, it has a really interesting smell to it, which I cannot, it's a pleasant smell. It's appetizing, but I cannot put my finger on like what this actually smells like. But this is in the clear one. If you're a person that really loves lip oils, you will actually really like this. But for me, I'm just kind of like, I don't need this taking up space. I have so many other things that I like, use and love. Okay, and the last thing that I am decluttering is also by Finding Ferdinand. I know. I don't want to write off Finding Ferdinand as a brand, but I have gotten rid of everything that I've purchased from them. Yeah, so this is the Delicious Balm, the Asian Provocateur. I have this because everybody's like, oh my God, it's black. But it's in the scent, which I just want to bite into this. It's in mixed berries. It literally smells like a gummy bear. It's so good. And I really like the color of it. It's a very like Dior mahogany. If you're into Dior mahogany or the Clinique black honey, if you're into that, which I do like both of those products. But this, it's supposed to be like a lip balm. And where anytime I've used like the Dior, anytime I had used, you know, Black Honey by Clinique, it doesn't cling to anything. This makes me look like I had a lip stain on that rubbed off, and then I put lip balm on, and then it just kind of smeared everywhere. This does not look nice on my little lippies. It does not. And it's so disappointing because sometimes I would just have this in my bag and I would just end up smelling it and not putting it on. And, you know, it doesn't feel like it like lasts long on the lips. It just doesn't feel like what I want it to do, which is so disappointing because I was really excited for this. And it sucks because I remember just waiting so long for all of those Finding Ferdinand products to come in the mail. And I just ended up not liking any of them. Like I just wanted to love this so bad. And I see other colors like coming out. Like they have like a dark cherry one. I'm like, oh, but then I'm like, why would I get that when it just didn't work for me. It made my lips look horrible. Okay, that's it. That's it. That's all the stuff that I'm giving away, throwing away. Sometimes they're old. Sometimes I just don't like the color. Sometimes I think the formula just is not for me. Anyways, so that's everything that I'm getting rid of. And yeah. Like, comment, subscribe. I will not be listing all of these products down in the description box because it's just too many. It's too much. Anyways, I'll see you on the next one. Bye!